As we begin with the war in Ukraine, the Kremlin confirming President Trump's announcement that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is heading to Moscow next week in an attempt to negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine. Here's the commander-in-chief on where the peace plan stands, including a possible visit by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
We would like to come, but I think we should get a deal done first. We're having good talks. We started with Russia. We're having some talks with Russia. Ukraine is doing well. I think they're pretty happy about it. They'd like to see it end. And we won't know for a little while, but we're making progress.
National security and military analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant joins us now. And Dr. Grant, the fundamental question, can Steve Witkoff and Donald J. Trump finally get Vladimir Putin to end a war that, quite frankly, Rebecca, he does not seem to want to end?
Putin has a taste for war. Witkoff has traveled to Moscow before. But I've got to tell you, Todd, this time, thanks to Team Trump, I think peace is on the way for Ukraine. This war needs to end for America's sake, too. It's unleashed geopolitical chaos with China, Russia, North Korea, and it's a humanitarian disaster. Best part of these talks so far, prosperity for Ukraine under a lot of the terms of this deal being negotiated.
Yeah, one of the critiques of the original 28-point plan that has since been renegotiated with Ukrainian and European officials is that Ukraine was being asked to give up territory that was still in its control, which was seen as heavily favoring Russia. Here is President Trump on that very topic regarding territorial disputes yesterday. Watch.
Do you think that Ukraine was being asked to give too much land back to Russia?
The way it's going, if you look, it's just moving in one direction. So eventually that's land that over the next couple of months might be gotten by Russia anyway. So do you want to fight and lose another 50, 60,000 people? Or do you want to do something now?
Do you have a new deadline?
When it's over. And I think everybody's tired of fighting at this moment. They're losing too many people.
What do you think about President Trump's comments there?
The territory piece is really painful because this is no victory for Putin. Russia hasn't taken all of the Donbass. But at this point, Trump's plan is to freeze pretty much at the line of contact. And I tell you, the economic package for Ukraine is worth it for Ukraine going forward. Instant access to the EU, Black Sea grain shipping, electricity from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, maybe even some frozen Russian assets. So if you want a prosperous Ukraine in the future, this may be the price.
Russian government expected to hold a press conference today. Dr. Grant, how do they sell a potential deal to their people?
Oh, there is no telling what the Russians are going to say. And, you know, the wartime production has started keeping Putin in power, but they are looking at 1 million casualties. And when this ends, the reality is Russia, a vassal to China because of their economic dependence and how China has bankrolled this. And look, I'd like to see every Russian out of Ukraine. But the fact is, Putin really does need to bring this to an end if he has any hope of putting Russia back into the world economy sometime in the future.
One of the key issues, Dr. Grant, that was adopted into this new draft that we have not yet seen what the final draft looks like, but was negotiated with Marco Rubio in Europe this week, has to do with security guarantees. And one Ukrainian official said, I think it now looks very solid when it comes to U.S. and European security guarantees. What does that mean for us and our troops here?
That's important because, hey, 600,000 man army, more or less, that's fine if equipped with plenty of U.S. M1 Abrams tanks, air power, air defenses, the space and cyber guarantees. And don't forget, we've got to contain Russia if the fighting stops tomorrow. That means more tanks for NATO, tanks in Poland, everything, the wall of air power to make sure that that Eastern Front is solid. We have forces in Poland, we have forces in Europe, and we need to have Europe secure from any more Russian expansion. So important for us Americans, for our interest in the Western Hemisphere and the Pacific as well.
I think it's important, though, to remain sober-minded on this because thus far we have not had any success ending this war. And so, Dr. Grant, what happens if all of this falls through? Do you then expect the Trump administration to levy sanctions on Russia, the likes of which we have not seen yet. I am talking about debilitating sanctions that actually force Vladimir Putin to act.
Right, Todd, and more oil sanctions hitting China as well. And frankly, if this falls apart, and it could, Putin hasn't agreed to anything so far. There needs to be a military price to pay in the form of Ukrainian attacks on legitimate Russian military targets in Crimea, in the energy infrastructure, on their air bases, unleashing those horrible drone and missile attacks if this falls apart.
Yeah. President Trump ended his very lengthy Truth Social post with the message, let's hope that peace can be accomplished as soon as possible. And I think we can all agree on that. Dr. Rebecca Grant, we thank you so much for joining us on this Thanksgiving Eve.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.